Okay, people, welcome back. Still waiting for some things to load up, but I thought I would try and get back on as quickly as possible. And it looks like everything's settled down now. Running at constant 30 frames per second, 6 kilobyte upload, so 6,000 kilobyte upload. So that looks like it's fixed itself, whatever the problem was. So now it's just a case of getting kind of everything else up and running, which takes a couple of seconds. No, you're not dead, Marshall. I don't know why that just tickled me. I'm because I wasn't figuring why you were saying it, and then I realised it's back screen. So no, you're not dead. But now it's running fine. I think in all honesty, I haven't shut down for a couple of days. I was saying I had a virus the other day, which I caught just as it was trying to install itself, but it was already running rampant by the time I even managed to catch it. So I was kind of spent a few days. Yeah, everything's supposed to be black. Don't worry, Marshall. It will come back around. Although I am getting a bit of yellow and orange at the moment. But that might be CPU restrictions, so who knows. I'm just waiting. Steam's updating itself. I'm still waiting for my audio to come back online. Not come back online yet. So I'm hoping that it all kind of comes around. If Steam doesn't validate, I'm effed. Really. So what should we do? A bit of hand dancing? Hand dancing? Or something like that until we get back up. I could just shout at it. Come on, you motherfucker. I have still got that open. I don't know why these days that actually my PC got really slow at loading things. I think I really need to make that switch to a thingy drive. Yeah, that one. Okay, right. Music's gonna come back any second. No. Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? It just turned off because I logged out, that's all. So you can go back on there, Bell Draco. It's just what's the name of the drive? The new hard drives that run super fast. I really need to get my Windows on one of them. Running it from these drives that I run at the moment, I read and write so much from my drives. I'm surprised they last a year. I'm truly surprised that they managed to last a year. They do. Fair dues to them, they do. Right, okay, so Steam's coming back online now. Everything's speeding up a little bit because my PC always seems to take a while to kick in, but now everything's kind of coming back up. So I'm just waiting for the Elite Dangerous launcher. And then once that comes up, I can load in Discord to find that Brian's probably gone to bed. Oh god, Kathina defragging so last year. No, I haven't actually defragged in a while, and you're probably right, because as I said, I read and write so much to my hard drive, it's ridiculous. And I'm surprised my hard drives last a year. I'm genuinely surprised that my hard drives even last a year. Oh well, I would be interested in knowing what it was, Jess. I mean, I didn't realise we had a tiff, because I'm generally not that type of person. But if you can tell me what it was about or give me any info, I will email him, because I'm not going to take money from somebody who is who's unhappy with something. That would be totally morally corrupt to do something like that. So, and I'm really actually sad that I disappointed him. Was it political? Okay. Do that then. I'll have a look at it. I don't know. The frame rate's still up and down a bit, people. And it's not... I know it's not my PC now. So I apologise if it's going to keep doing this, because it could be a YouTube ingestion problem, I don't know. I remember somebody in a, there was a conversation going on in one video where somebody didn't agree with something somebody else said, but I don't remember anything being anything I said. But I don't think, like, you never know, do you? Yeah, I don't know, that's the sad part, because you never want, obviously, we all have points, yeah, avocado, it might have been about avocado. We all have our differences in life, but they should never come between two people actually being able to communicate together and being good to each other. That's why we have war, you know, idiots who can't talk anything out. You know, I've always said I'm a very diverse person. Some of my views are quite conservative, some of my views are extremely left-wing. But I would hope that it never stops me being a decent person, apart from when it comes to avocados. Love them. Love them. But sincerely, I mean, even if, I mean, this is true as you can get. If you said something that miffs me off, I'd brush it off in 5 minutes. I would brush it off in 5 minutes. I kind of live life by that old saying of fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, I'm doing the George Bush. Fuck. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've always lived by that attitude. You know, and I think that okay, but I still need to have a good look at it, Jess, because there is Beldraco, but like I say, sometimes in my streams I start talking about conspiracies or political things, and I know that people always don't agree on those things, and that is absolutely fine. But I would never want to drive somebody away from the video, and if they're driven away, I'll get lost. If I'm talking to Alex Gar, by the way, he's trying to diss avocados. Even if I totally disagreed with anybody on a subject, it would not mean that I don't want them in the channel or to have their point of view. Just wouldn't. And I know that some people sometimes have thin skins and whatnot, but it's not the way I am as a person. I don't gain anything from politically winning over someone politically or whatnot. Unless you're a New England Patriots fan, then you can fuck off, because I fucking hate New England's Patriots. And I actually mean that. Just go away. Unless you like Cheers, then I'm going to be 50-50. I'm on the, you know, Cheers is the only good thing to ever come out of Boston. No, I kind of understand. People don't like sports. Some people don't like sports. I can totally understand that. It's, well, I'm not in streaming. I'm going to crash into the bloody sun. I'm a New York Jets fan, so I'm going to be honest and say that sports to me is an enigma. Because because I've never seen a winning side, but I will. Let's make our priority a little bit higher, so at least we can. It seemed to run alright when we did it before. We fell out over avocados. Do I spoil? Have I done that, David? I don't know if I've done it. I'm sorry if I spoil. I try not to, actually. I'm quite aware of it. But I'm sorry if I did anything to destroy a series. What did I spoil? Did I spoil something? Well, I used to be really into sports, like hardcore into sports, you know. The week goes shit because your sports team lost. Just so you know, I'm a New York Jets fan, and the New York Jets actually lost to the Cleveland Browns this week, and I know this is gobbledygook to most people. This is a team that haven't won a game in 2 years, and my team managed to lose to them. And that's kind of what sports is to me. That's why I said earlier it's a bit of an enigma, because every team, regardless who I choose to follow, ends up being the absolute pits. So kind of half gave up on it a long time ago. No, I would hope not, because I really do try. I think you have to be aware. I have to try to be aware that you're not spoiling stuff for others. I mean, like I said about Stranger Things earlier on, I said I didn't like the ending, but I wouldn't have... Yeah, I mean, I could be a Packers fan, actually, if I'd have picked a better bloody option. Problem for me is I can't change teams, because I just have a thing where I click onto something and that's it. Should have been a Packers fan. At least when they go through losing periods, that you know that they're run by a consortium of fans, you know. Yeah, yay for them. Some people got free beer as well, but unfortunately it should have been Jets fans that got free beer. But it's one of those things, you know, I'll be watching a game and they'll say the New York so-and-so hasn't scored a touchdown in 16 years, and I'll be like, alright, well, he's going to get one today then. They lost to the Browns, Ellis guy, I know. Kill the cat. The deaf, dumb and blind school would have beaten the Browns. Yeah, they gave free beer to the fans. They had these kind of Wi-Fi locked safes around the city, and the first win that they got, they were going to buy beers for the city. So yeah, everybody got free beer. Well, yeah, because I'm not going to bore everybody with football talk, but Beldraco's pushing into a point I like here. Marty Schottenheim was old school, so they didn't like it because everybody was moving into new school. Bill Belichick was doing well in New England, everybody wanted to go new school, and that's what's effed the NFL, and that's why Belichick is still successful, because everybody dumped off the old school coaches like Schottenheimer and Cower and stuff like that and went new school. Yeah, sorry Bob. Yeah, he hasn't had a shit since 1962. 975 days. Yeah. Bob's only been like that because they play rugby in Wales, and that's they consider that a big man's game. Right, okay. Oh, we've got an Earth type. Uncharted. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Bob. Okay, you will love Aussie rules football. Just go with the flow, mate. Yeah, moronic. Nobody knows what's going on. Even the Australians don't know what's going on. They pretend they do. That sport's fucking weird. But if you get to go see the Formula 1 at all in Melbourne, do it. What did you try and tell me, Bob? Okay, so we got an Earth type, untagged. That's mine. Close to the planet as well, I'm really pleased with that one. Close to the planet, close to the sun, for God's sake. Can't beat a bit of Explorer data, can you? Did you, Bob? Is that when you were saying something? Oh no! I didn't miss a. I didn't miss an Earth light. Come on, I didn't. Was there a crumb on your screen? Just like on a water world or something? I didn't miss an Earth light, come on. I didn't. Do you know what scares me about this stream is people seem to know the emojis far too well. Far too well. Sorry Brian, I haven't added you as my co-pilot. I do apologise. I don't know if he's like 1,000 light years away from me. Oh Christ, hang on. Everybody's like, am I that drunk? I'm not even drunk. I don't know whether this is a wind-up. Are you all on Discord again? Just like, let's wind him up today. I think they're all on a wind-up, people. Don't listen to them. Okay, so we're in the system now, I think. Yes, we are. So let's see what we actually jumped into. Because I have no flipping idea. Oh, craps, Brian. Sorry, I forgot to open Discord as well. Because I was just so happy to have the stream back. Alright, okay. I'm not going to go a huge distance on Brian, so don't worry. I'll do a little bit more. I'll do like... I'll only do 600 jumps more and then I'll... No, they're watching the stream. They're watching the stream. Let's face it, Jess has been on the Colt 45 since... Colt 45 this morning. What time is it now in the US? He's on the West Coast, so God, is it like 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon on the West Coast? Right, okay, let's see where we are and why we are here. did not take the star map. What an idiot. Right, okay, so what are we? We should really drop out of, I think it might be a nebula here. Oh, what am I doing? Brian's got it in his bloody thingy, hasn't he? Dinner time in the Wild. Is it really? Try dinner time in the Wild West. Right, okay, let's have a look. So, there we go. I'm not that bad. Come on, come on, come on. I'm not that bad. Right, okay, so, no information. Did I drop into the wrong system? Let's bugger all information here. Let's see. Let's just have a look at the star map, because there's a reason I've come here. There's a reason it's tagged. And there's a reason why I dropped in. But I think it's because it's the... Okay, so it's the view of the nebula. That's why I dropped in. Earth-like and Waterworld? Did I not scan this? Am I in the wrong system? I'm serious. I must be in the wrong system, so that's probably why. Brian's probably winding me up. Let's have a look. Oh man, what? I am. I might be a jump out actually. So Brian's gone into. Let's stick Brian's in the next one over. I'll do that anyway. So yeah, I must have put this for a view of the nebula. But if he's saying there's water worlds, well done, Moronic. Because I'm gonna be honest. It's probably not the best thing to be doing in this world, but I can't get LSD in a legal way, so unfortunately alcohol is the closest option. It's kind of pathetic. Oh yeah, a couple of drinks in her, and Kathina thinks San Marco is quite sexy. She does. She admitted it in stream once. So don't be getting too excited. She was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'll take that home tonight." Sorry, Bob. Okay, right. Sorry, nobody told me to put my chat program back on. You lot are all posting these bloody things in YouTube, and they're not telling me that I've got a big grey screen. Right, let's have a look. You're right, it's a nice system. There's an Earth-like here as well. Is that what you said? Oh, and 2 ammonia worlds. Nice. Oh well, you did well. You're not a psychopath, are you? More? Have you heard about that, the whole thing? The FBI have a special task force because they believe that there's a group of psychopathic truck drivers. I'm being deadly serious, I'm not even joking. It's horrible, isn't it? It is so disgusting. Just look at it. Imagine that teaching your child mathematics. Oh, it's enough to make you finish your tea. Sorry, people. I won't do that anymore. It's horrible. Yeah, that's basically what the FBI is saying. More, they're saying there's and that the interesting thing is that I'm really into like all disappearances and stuff like that. Is that they were saying that it's such an easy job to get into if you were a psychopath and you decide that, you know, I can murder people across state lines and move on, and it's going to be so much harder to track me. Really, really weird subject to be talking about in an Elite Dangerous stream, but you know, I've said to people before, I like a lot of different things, and different things interest me, and pretty much, Alan's car. That's apparently that's the limit, and a bucket of KFC if you can. And no, not water worlds. They're ammonias, aren't they, Brian? They're not ammonia. Are you kidding? Right, Brian said that these are not ammonia worlds, which if they're not, bloody hell, I've never seen a water world like this. But he's right, they're not showing as... But they're not showing as water worlds either. Get lost, those are not high metal content worlds. Okay, they are. I get you, Brian, I'm not denying what you're saying, but they are not high metal content worlds. Full bottle, yeah. That is disgusting. They are not high metal content, and they're not even terraformable. That makes it 10 times worse. No, I do trust you, Brian. Am I even in the chat here? Alright, okay. Where are we? No, I do trust you. But I'm saying that FDev have done something there because they are ammonia worlds. I'm actually going to fly up to this. I'm that surprised. I'm going to go right up to the planet and have a good look because these are ammonia worlds. Jess is trying to point out in emojis what he's having for breakfast tomorrow. So apparently chicken. Do you know what, actually, Katina? I'm not a big fan of KFC these days, but I had Popeye's chicken in New York, and that was amazing. No, you didn't lie, Brian. Maybe the second one's ammonia, but the first one is ammonia. No, you're not trolling because I scanned one. That's disgusting. These are not high metal worlds. I'm just trying. When you get close to them, they are, but that misted atmosphere. He's having chicken and a dress. Ah, the atmospheres are... That still doesn't make it fair, Brian, because those are... I've never seen that before. I've never scanned one of these and it's turned out to be high metal content. I think it's maybe a changeover a long time ago, because they don't exist anywhere else that I've seen. But it's not that I've seen the world. Bojangles. I just like the name Bojangles. I would shop there just for the sake of saying I like Bojangles chicken. Right, okay, so where are we? Okay, so we're gonna go have a look at a little bit of look at this nebula, because we're not far off this nebula. We're gonna have a good old gawk at this nebula. And then we're gonna go here to Myersley something or other. And I don't know, it's getting late for me. It's what 7 o'clock Ellersgar's time, probably about 4 o'clock Jess's time. So I don't know about you lot. If you can stick on longer, I'll keep going. If you all think you're going to drop off dead and go to bed, then I won't go much further. But it's like 16. Right, let's have a look at this one. Oh, okay, B. See you tomorrow. Oh no, see you Sunday. I will post you the next one in Discord and let you know where I am, or I'll let you know where I am. I'll actually post them as I go so that you know where I've been. So if you want to check them out, you can check them out. He just had a coffee. Come work in the wonderful world of teaching, Brian. You won't have to. You don't have to face another parcel in your life. 8:30. Okay. Oh, sorry, yes, I'm looking at the wrong clock. So yeah, you are 8:30. I was looking at the in-game clock, Ellersgar, and even with that I was wrong. Do you want me to answer that, Ellersgar? Don't forget, I saw you in the soul food restaurant. Don't be telling no parties. I'm going to be honest, Kathina. I won't tell a lie. He is into the juice. It's all about the juice for that guy. Leg, breast, it's all the same as long as it's covered in juice. Okay. I have no idea what I'm talking about, people. Okay, Dave. Oh, David, but you live in Australia, so I'm sorry. I know. I wish I could cater to the Australian audience. I really do. And you should all give me extra cred because there's actually an event running in the Division this weekend and I didn't touch it tonight and I was desperate to. I was like, oh, I'll do an hour of Elite and then I'll go and do the Division because I love cheating off like that. But I keeps it real. I couldn't do it. I felt really bad. Oh great, if you have to hit the like button again, you hit that like button again, people. Pim pam. Right, I'm gonna have to take it easy because I've had half a bottle of whiskey. Half a bottle of wine. I have to take it really easy now. Thank you, people. I won't be able to see through my socks soon. Right, okay. Oh, that's really close orbit, that one. Can you see? I might have to go check these two out because he's looking crazy crazy orbit to each other, so I'm going to check them out because you never know when you're going to hit one of those strange anomalies within the game. So I'm going to go check these two out because I have a feeling I'm going to be like seriously close to each other. If I haven't already told people, if you want to, and you love Elite Dangerous, they're close, but they're not that close, are they? Give Lave Radio a listen to. Lave Radio is really interesting. We talk about elite stuff there to do with today. The recent podcast was all to do with the updates and a little bit about the Gnosis. I didn't like it because they supported FDev. It's the camera Cathena. They're the same. They're the same over in England and Europe. It wasn't abject horror. It was abject fear. There's a difference. Horror is scared of something. Fear is not. Doesn't work like that. I can't help it. I can't help it. I've said I haven't lied about it. They feed them on KFC. Probably do. Do you know, one day we went to this restaurant and we had chicken wings, oysters and a hamburger. And the only reason we went to this restaurant is because people were saying it's one of the oldest restaurants in New York, you have to go there, it's top class, they treat you well. Went in, couldn't get a table. Came back 3 or 4 hours later, just bagged a table. Went in, lots and lots of rich people in there enjoying themselves. The oysters were good. I won't knock them because you can get bad oysters, but they weren't any better than the cheaper oysters I've had in Las Vegas or other places. The wings were good, but they covered them in, I think, in barbecue sauce rather than a hot sauce, which I guess that's a preference thing, but I much prefer hot sauce. Felt a bit let down. And the hamburger is possibly the worst hamburger I've ever had in my life, and it cost like, I think it was about 20 quid. So that was disappointing, but to make it all better, we went to what's the famous hamburger place over there that everything's fresh? I can't remember the name of it now, but went to this really good hamburger place and everything was fresh, so it was alright. Wasn't too bad. It weren't too bad. Still got 12 jumps on this thing. Here we go. I love going into these days. Like, I've changed my approach to them now, and I actually, crap on a stick. We've got a module malfunction. What's that? What are we on? We must be low actually. We are 78, so we've done well to get to 78% with only one module malfunction. This is going down a different road, Eldgar. Am I missing some chat? Am I missing chat there? I don't know. Talking about the chicken. The grab for chicken. Right, okay. Go a little bit. I think we do one more. I think we do a little bit more here. I would hope not, Elliot's car. It's disgusting as soon as it is. Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that, Kathina. Okay, so I'm going a bit slow here. I'm missing some of the chat. What happens if you talk to a brunette woman? She tells you she's actually a redhead, but dyeing it. Oh, that would break my heart. That would break my heart. It would break my heart. But I don't know what all that stuff's about. We all have our vices. Funny, the strange thing is I can look at the biggest, baddest mountain and keep climbing up it. That's how we're wired, isn't it? Alice Gar can attest to that by all the stairs that we climbed. I'm sorry. Right, we've got 9 jumps here, people. It's not that far. Stick with us for another quarter of an hour. And Ineffectual Airways will get you there. What colour's your hair normally then? I just love the idea of chicken wing evolution. You'll be paying double the price for meat once you're in Australia, Moronic. You'll be alright. Those will be the times that you're pining for America when you're looking at a steak in a shop. Okay. But you seem really intelligent. I'm only joking, I was just being dick. Right, okay, what's that? That is a water world, but it's right on the edge, but it isn't a great distance, so I'm gonna go grab that one. I don't particularly like flying across systems like this, but 9,000 light seconds, it's not the end of the world, so I'm gonna go grab it because I want my name on a few more places than I've had it before, because I always kind of, there's some places where I in the past I've been like, oh, it's high metal content, I'm just gonna leave it, and I've literally been on the look for water worlds. But I have realized that if you just, sorry, I've just got one of my friends is speaking at a big public ceremony in South America, and I just want to, so anyway, so I'll pull away from that. What, you knew that I was going to talk about intelligence? No, come on. I was playing on stereotypes. That's kind of how I am as a person. I play on stereotypes. I don't honestly believe those things. Oh, he's in, people. Joe Soap's back. Give him a virtual high five. We left him hanging the other night, the poor bastard. He was the only one talking in stream on his own. Never judge a book by its cover, Kathina, although sometimes the cover is really bad and the backstory is even worse. Just one second, I just want to check one thing because I don't know why I'm going for it. I'm going to a water world, I know that, but one of my friends is actually how would I describe him? Well, do you know Life is Strange? He's working on Life is Strange too, but he's not designing it. He is like the PR guy. So I'm trying to get a free review copy of him, but he's not replying. Because I know what he's like. We'll see. He might. I know, that's what I felt really bad, Joe, because I'm sat there, I was talking to Brian, because often when we go off stream we'll just have a chat about different bits and bobs. And I just saw the chat come up in YouTube, and I'm like, hang on, I'm offline. Have I left the stream on? And so I felt pretty bad. Sorry about that. I don't know why I felt bad, because I hadn't done anything wrong, but you get what I mean. But I'm just hoping he gives me a review copy, because I'd love to play it. I can't afford it at the moment. It's not happening. I've got to save every penny I've got for Red Dead at the moment, so the next few months is going to be tight. Hence the cheap whiskey tonight. Cheap whiskey doesn't even burn. I am travelling at full speed, people. It's just going really slow. I don't know if there's a gravitational pull from the sun or what. The first one was indie, and I do believe, I don't think it's like full AAA price, but I do think it's up there. But to be fair, when you've got friends plugged in, but I think it's 40 quid or something. So 40 quid's not a bad price at all. It isn't. Oh, it's terraformable, bloody hell. That was a good spot. You'd all still buggered off though, hadn't you? Reducing.
Shift drive charging.
Has anybody played Surge? I got offered a key for it. I got offered a key for it, but I haven't accepted it yet because I thought I didn't know. But I think the reason I got offered the key is because there's a new version of it coming out, and yeah, I mean essentially 40 quid's cheap, but it's not to somebody who can't afford it. Like I said, every penny I've got at the moment's going to oh shit, is going towards Red Dead Redemption 2, so It's only, what, a month and a half away or something, so... Not even that, I think it's just over a month away. Oh shit on a stick, I'm gonna have to fix this module actually. I'll do it on the next one. Supercharged. Oh, okay. So is it okay, or is it not worth it? I got offered a key for a really strange game the other day, which actually looked like it might be right up my street, but I couldn't seem. Sorry, yeah, £1 is £1, so yeah, pretty much. And then if you're gonna revert it into American dollars, just take 10. So if I say 40, it's probably 30 in the US. But that at its highest retail point, you know. And often when I say £30, I'm actually talking about euros as well, because I live in Europe, so don't even live in the UK. So I apologise for any confusion there. I don't think I've changed. Oh, you have? Okay. Strange. But you didn't mind Detroit. You didn't mind Detroit Almost Human. By the way, have you watched my second playthrough? It's not as bad as you would think. And actually, Connor seems to... I'm going to be honest, Connor makes a lot more sense in the second playthrough. Marcus is... don't like him, but I'm having to make those decisions that he would make. So he's a little bit kind of indecisive and depending on the flow of the situation. So he doesn't look as strong a leader as he did in the first playthrough, because of course he was very like, no, I'm going to do it this way. In this playthrough he kind of really flips. So I've had times where he's like, right, attack. Other times where he's like, no, we have to defend. And I play it all on the kind of all on the fly of how I think they think in that moment in time. But Connor's died almost every time because of his decisions, but I like that. I like the idea that the robot cannot make those human decisions, and even Hank at the moment hates him. No, Mo, I just wanted a different way of life. I wanted to, where I've moved to now, I have a slower pace of life. I'm not a rich man, but I have a slower pace of life. I live right next to the mountains, so I can go into the mountains anytime I want. I can get into nature anytime I want, but where I am is kind of this really strange melting pot of everything. So I've got Barcelona 1 hour to the south, sort of big city, metropolitan. I've got the coast to the east, 1 hour, and then I've got the mountains 1 hour to the north, and then I kind of live in the countryside, so it's a really, really good mix. Okay. Can we go? Okay. I'm gonna drop out and fix this, people, because if I don't fix it, it's gonna become a real problem, because it's 78. It's not. Fix the thrusters. Oops. Thrusters online. Thrusters offline. Do you know you can't fix your AFMU unless you have another AFMU? That's pretty cool. I'll bring another one next time. I don't know about Obsidian Ant, but I've made it quite clear that I don't mind the exploration changes. I actually think that the new way of dropping in and scanning planets, in theory, and I do use the term in theory, will actually work out faster once we've worked out how to use them. The mapping of planets, I really like the idea of it. It's going to bring a whole new part of the game to people, and I think it'll be more interesting in that way. This is going to take a while, people, so I'm going to keep talking about what Joe's on about. And I think the mapping project is going to bring a whole new part to the game that we're going to get one group, probably Canon, because they're more organised at the moment, but maybe they'll have like EDSM, so maybe we'll have like two factions, player factions, kind of going against each other to map the galaxy, and I think that is just such a good thing. The whole probes and mapping thing, I honestly can't. You know, I always bash FDev, so it's one of those things where I'm like, I really don't know how it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and watch it, and I'll make a, based on if I play the beta or whatever, I'll make a decision based on that. When the exploration thing first dropped and they talked about it, the only thing I had serious concern was with First Discovery. Brian's talked about it, the Flying Scotsman, and I totally understand where he's coming from. He's a bit more passionate about it, I think, than I am, but I totally understand where he's coming from, where he's saying, hey, I don't want to be scanning a planet that's somebody else's discovery. And I agree with that, because in the current format we can see that. What I would like is an idea that universal cartographies, when a planet is registered, it automatically uploads to your computer that planet is registered. So if I drop in a system, that planet shows up on the map. It would also be thinking about something Kathina was on about the other day. It would seriously devalue the planet. So I drop in on a system on the road to riches, it would no longer be worth 400,000 because somebody else has mapped it or somebody else has discovered it. So I would get probably half the money and whatnot. Why can I hear ice, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's something I've shut down. I'm a little bit worried about that. Okay, right, frame shift can go back on. Power distributor will repair that. We'll repair the life support. We have to be really careful with life support because we run out really quickly. Yeah. Okay, so we'll turn it back on. It's the scariest one, that one, because you're like, is it going to come back on? Okay, yeah, I do, because they have to do it. They have to show systems that have been discovered. Otherwise, it doesn't make proper sense to me. No, and I don't think it would be fair, Kathina, to be honest. I really don't. I know what you're saying. I know where you're coming from, but the way that Elite is now, it's unfair to expect a new commander to be going off and finding his own ground. If that had been day one drop, I'd agree with you. I would have agreed with you, sorry. Absolutely 100%. But now I couldn't. I couldn't because I don't think it would be fair. Okay, power plant. Do I have to? No, you can't unactivate it. That's strange. Repair that one. Oh really? I didn't even know that, Marshall. Because I didn't think I was that low. I thought everything was. I thought everything was pretty much on. Right. Okay. That was all right. We're off to go again. Don't get drunk, people. Which live stream, Eldscar? The one on Tuesday or whenever it was. I can't remember when it was. That's alright, I don't mind. You've got to understand that the mapping is separate from Discovery. Okay, you have to really grasp that concept that the mapping's totally separate from the Discovery. And that's why I think the mapping's interesting, because it's going to open another avenue of the game for the Discovery type people. So for example, I can drop in somewhere, tag it, fly off, get 400 grand, but somebody who sits there and maps it might get 800 grand. Well, the thing is, Joe, is although I am being positive in certain senses, I don't expect a ton. There's a thumbs down on the video. I'm just wondering if that's Brian. But you can just see, you never truly know. You just don't know what they're gonna bring. Cause in my humble opinion, I never expect a lot from FDev now. The whole Gnosis thing, I was actually angry about. Not for me, but for the player base. I heard someone sticking up for it the other day, saying that, you know, they'd said everything in Galnet. It was obvious that it wasn't going to make it, but when you saw the number of commanders who were there who didn't catch that part of the story or didn't catch that part of the information, and people can say, well, you should read Galnet. They can say it all you want. People don't, and people follow what's happening. I just think that FDev totally dealt with the Gnosis thing in the wrong way, and we've all talked about it at length. And that's, but I can't bend on it, because I just think, no. And they should have known it before. They can't hold their hands up and say, we didn't know people were going to react like that. Because I did. I said to people the night before, I said, hey, you should maybe consider having something a bit more combat orientated, because I felt that, my personal opinion is, I thought we were going to drop into somewhere with Thargoids. Not the Thargoids were going to come to the ship. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it to the Corn sector, but I had a feeling that I thought they would kind of have the Thargoids pull it out on the edge of the Corn sector. Yeah, well, they kind of explained it in news reports in Galnet, but the problem is that the Gnosis, how I see it is, the Gnosis has had a list of places to go to, and when it's gone somewhere, it's gone there. There's never been a problem before, because what FDev do is, not the Canon say, we want to go there, and FDev say, no. And then Canon come back and say, okay, we want to go there, and they go, yeah, okay, you can go there. And then they jump it. But this time it's like they accepted it. Maybe they just accepted it offhand, not realising where it was jumping. and then they realised where it was, and apparently a handful of programmers hastily wrote the storyline around it, which is, if true, is so stupid. Because what I would have done is, you could have come up with any story, to be honest. You could have jumped it to the edge of the corn sector and said, hey, you know what, it's broken. The Thargoids tried to pull it out of hyperdrive and it broke. You've got a stranded ship there that people have to deliver stuff to fix it. And then you've also got the exploration commanders who wanted exploration, who have this massive trip back to the bubble. And there you go, there's your story. You never went to the corn sector, but instead they used it to introduce this new Thargoid type. And that's where I get really kind of bit miffed about it, because I'm like, they're saying, no, we had this planned all along, and we didn't want to change the background simulation, or we didn't want to change how people perceive the game. When in actual fact, they used it to introduce a new Thargoid. That's basically the story right there. So that's why I kind of got annoyed with it, because I thought, unfortunately, some commanders spent weeks and a lot of time. Oh, we've got two. Nice. We've got an Earth type, and they've been found, but it's alright. I'm rambling here, not even listening to the stream, so I do apologise. I'll have a look now. Let me just read the stream back over, make sure I'm... Okay, Kathina's saying it's not unfair at all. Well, yeah, but... Well, it's one of those things, Kathina, I mean, you know I love you, but we agree to disagree on it. I think there's got to be an income from it, but I get where you're coming from, and I really do. And if I got paid £1 million for an Earth-like, I would agree with you in a second. Because it takes a long time to find an Earth-like. So I would agree with you in a second. Yeah, you're right, Eladzgar. You're absolutely right. But you can tune it. People didn't hear that. They said you'd be able to tune the scanner. So if you're only on the look for high metal content and Earth types, you will be able to, with a button, I'm guessing, you'll be able to switch through frequencies. So in that sense, it will, if that's how I perceive what they said, it will be like a radio thing where you're clicking channels, and you will be very quickly able to decipher high metal content from rocky body from Earth-like. Once we know what those scanning frequencies are, it will make it a little bit faster and a little bit easier. And if you think about it, you'll be able to scan those planets that are hundreds of thousands of light seconds away that you normally leave behind because you don't want to fly over to them. So I actually think in that sense it's going to be a bigger upgrade than people imagine. Oh, I didn't know that, David. That's really interesting, because then it breaks the law and it proves that they were just trying to push their Thargoid agenda into the storyline. I actually didn't know that. Wow, that's really interesting. And they did say somewhere in the hyperjump, they'll just create a story that says that the Thargoids can pull people out of a hyperjump. But it's dead interesting that you should say that. Really interesting. I personally think they should have just had a stream and put it to bed and just said, look people, we tried to create something. Canon had one idea. You had another idea. We tried to create something off the back of it because we're obviously not going to unlock that area because it's future storyline, which is fine. But instead they tried to hide it, saying we haven't done anything. I don't know, it just felt really, really odd to me. It felt like it felt cheap. Really did, and I just felt so bad for the people, especially the poor people that I always talk about, like people who are really new to the game, who just have no idea about it. And I actually talked to somebody on I can't remember if it was the Frontier forums or something. He'd asked a question, I pointed him towards one of my videos, and I don't often do that, I just happened to be hanging around. And this guy said to me, I've been playing for... he said, I've been playing for 6 months and I didn't know to do that. And I can't remember what it was that... I think it was looking at the hollow globe here. I'm pointing, but you can't see it. But you know, to the left, where you see that version of a planet. And he had no idea. And I said, well, haven't you Googled it? And he said, well, why would I Google it? I said, because Google finds everything for you. And he said, but I didn't realise that that's... He said, I understood that it meant something, but there was nothing within the game that explained to me what it truly meant. And I said, yeah, there isn't, actually. There really isn't. There's no discovery playthrough, combat play... there is a combat playthrough, actually. No discovery playthrough, no trade playthrough. And people are generally coming into the game and just picking it up. Now that can be that can be really exciting at times. Am I in system? No. Yes, I am. Okay, let's have a look at this system. Let's see what this system is. So I don't know what this system is. 3213. Okay. Let me just look this up, people. Yeah, unfortunately, well, no video games companies admit to their faults. We all know that, and it's a bloody shame, because I think that you can get over a lot of the salt that ends up coming around by just saying, you know what, we're wrong, but it's done. At least people then know. I said that it's who is it? Rockstar are really at fault for this. You talk about Rockstar, Kathina. Jess has talked about Rockstar kind of ripping him off and taking money off him and stuff, and they're at fault as well, because they just don't. They're like, okay, we're gonna do this and sod the player base. And Jess isn't the 3213. Jess isn't the first person to say that. You know, he's had this weird banhammer come over him that's actually destroyed his online game. And I'm like, and Rockstar seemed to completely not want to be involved with it. Okay, so let's have a okay, so let's have a look. So it's the ring on this ammonia world that is interesting. So we're gonna have a look at this ammonia world. Let's type in ammonia world, and we're gonna close in on this. And they always say, you hear this thing where they say, well, we don't admit faults because people get over the top and salty and the game loses credibility and stuff like this. And I think that all comes down to the whole No Man's Sky thing. People are always scared of being the next No Man's Sky. But look at what No Man's Sky's done. Look at what that guy was, the most hated guy in the world of gaming a year ago, and now people are like, he's the savior because he's gone away. He shut his mouth, went away, and said, yeah, we made mistakes, and he's fixed them, or he's fixed them to the best of his ability. And he hasn't done a bad job of it. I mean, he honestly hasn't done a bad job of it. Could be, Marshall. No, I don't. Ella's guards. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late on some of this. He talked like 4 minutes ago. He's talking about this, and he said, "You give them a lot of credit. Given the current track ride, I wouldn't hold my breath on it working correctly." And you're absolutely right. The beta, unfortunately, or whatever they call it, the private thing, it won't get the ton of feedback it needs. But this is how it is. This game is so cutthroat that they have to expect that, and they honestly need private testers working on it, in my opinion. So you know, that's just the way it is. If they had private testers working on it, then they would be probably coming out with a little bit better. Let's look. Kathina, I always look at it this way: you don't buy a car and expect a rulebook on how to drive. Put it in the glove box. Same as kind of true of Elite in a way. It adds realism. It does, but you do. You've got things there, Kathina, that you have to. No, you don't get to drive a car. You don't get when you buy a car. You don't expect a rule book on how to drive it, but you do get driving lessons. You do get driving lessons, and you know what a road is, and you know the concept of the road. You know what a cigarette lighter is, or whatever it is. These things you know, and this game doesn't tell you any of those things, and I think that's a really big problem. Some people have come into my beginners. I can't remember what I call it. My beginners thing, which I never finished. I need to go back and finish it because I've got like a lot of views on those videos, and some people have messaged back saying, "I'm so glad you told me that because I had no idea about that." And just like the other day, I mean, I've been playing this game for a year and a half, and I didn't see the mass problem because I was trying to remove mass from the ship, but it just wouldn't allow it. It was only if I changed the thrusters, it would change the mass. But anything else I tried to change to take away mass, it wouldn't accept it. And there was nothing telling me that that's what's wrong. And even when I posted pictures to FDev and sent in a ticket, they didn't reply. So it just, you know. Okay, so no, technically you don't, Kathina, but actually you do. You get in an F-22, and the Air Force don't just let you fly it around at your own will. They put you in training scenarios to teach you what you can do, and you probably have to do an X amount of time in the simulator before you get in an F-22. The problem for me with Elite on a whole is that I'm not saying everybody's hand should be held. Welcome in, Sundog, by the way. I can see you bobbing around. Whereas you can't hold everybody's hand and explain everything. You've got to give... It's a compute game. Come on, you've got to give people a foot up. You have to. They've paid money for your product. You have to give them a foot up. There has to be a training schedule for everything. Other games do it, you know. Yeah, but you're going on the opinion that everybody else understands the concept of searching stuff in Google, and unfortunately people really don't. People really don't. You'd be so surprised. I was teaching somebody just the other day. I was teaching search strings to somebody because a friend of mine was saying, I was looking for this, couldn't find it on Google, and I picked up my phone and went, and I was like, there you go, that's what you're looking for. And he was like, how did you find it? And I just went, well, I'm searching for the information that's important. When he'd searched in Google, he'd searched like probably a big sentence or something, and Google was so confused it didn't know what it was looking for, and I put in the simplistic thing and it found it. So what I'm trying to get is, he knows what the internet is, he knows how to use it, he just didn't know how to do searches properly. Right, okay. So, Like I say, I get you, but it's very easy when you've been in the game for a while. It's like working for a big company when you know the ins and outs. When I used to work in insurance, I was like, that idiot's underinsured and he doesn't even know it. He should know it, but why would he know it? Why would he know what underinsurance is? When you're involved in the thing, you don't always know what the Oh, I did. The guy in what's his name? The guy in Seattle. Yep. You know what? The funny thing is, the Ellis guy, he'd learn through Flight Simulator. Is this not going where I expected to go? Come on. Oh, it's still plotting route. Come on there. We're only going across the border. Christ, we're only going across the border. Trump's there. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be the best wall in the world. Because I was saying to somebody the other day that I recently got back into Flight Simulator. I love Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I was trying to work out an ILS approach on a runway. An ILS approach is basically like, it's almost like an auto land facility on an airplane. It's what most airplanes use to line up with the runway, and then a couple of miles out the pilot takes over, co-pilot does the thrusters, and he might actually do it himself sometimes, but the co-pilot generally does the thrusters and he lands it. And I always say to people that, you know, up until the last few miles it's the computer, and then the captain takes over, and you'd be really surprised at how close it gets cut before the captain takes over. And it's a really important thing to understand that when you're in an aeroplane, the pilot engages the autopilot a couple of 100 feet off the ground. It's normally I don't know if they do it just after the landing gear goes up or just before the landing gear goes up. I can never remember which order it's supposed to be in. So it can be like 200 feet off the ground and the autopilot's engaged and doing its business. But Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't tell you any of that, and on the ILS approaches, I didn't know how to catch it. And I watched video of people making it look like it was really simple, and every time my plane would crash into the ground at high speed in a fiery death, and I couldn't understand it. And I'm still trying to work out where you engage it, where you disengage it, and things like that. Now, the tiny little things that give you indications of how to do something right, like looking in the hollow globe and stuff like that, maybe you should work that out for yourself. But things like learning how to scoop neutron stars and things like that, that should be part and parcel of the game, in my humble opinion. And actually, Mo, you bring up a really good point, because some of us, we live on that stuff. Reading the extra bits and finding that little bit of information, I love it. When I go to the Formadine Rift, or I come out to Sagittarius Day, I can sit on a website for 3-4 hours and read every single page, from 1 to 180, no problem. Some people can't. They don't have the time. And I can't stress this enough when I talk about this. People buy a video game to be taken away from reality. Please don't make it so difficult that they stress as much at the game as they do in their real lives. Give them the basics to let them just go. too many games these days are hidden behind this, that and the other, and the grind is there and whatnot, and it's all like, well, you work it out, it's a game. I'm not in agreement with that, because I really do feel for the people who don't have time. I'm not saying they should be given the best stuff, because if you invest a lot of time in the game, maybe you should have the best stuff, but they also shouldn't be held back. Yeah, I don't understand. The reason I don't understand it, Ellis, guys, because it was originally designed to be cross-platform, apparently, and it didn't work. As far as I know, everything's on the same server. Exactly, console players. Kathina, I mean, there is people who've said to me, I'm playing on the PlayStation and I'm watching you on the YouTube app or whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a trade-off, David, because I love simulation. I'll be honest with you, quite a vast majority of games I play aim towards simulation, but there has to be a trade-off. I don't want a simulation where I'm actually having to do as much work as I would in real life in order to live the simulation, because then if I have to do that work, why not just do it in real life? You know, there's got to be that trade-off of, okay, you're going to have to learn this shit, but we're not going to keep doing it for 6 or 7 years, we're going to do it in a month or whatever. Well, that's what they said. That's what I remember them saying, Marshall. And what exclusion zones, Chris? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but let me know and I'll tell you. Oh, really? You know about aviation, Sundog? Not in the stream, because this is Elite, but if the day I play, the next time I load up Microsoft Simulator, I will send you a message, because I can get a plane off the ground, I can do everything, but getting on the ILS approach, I can't do it. But I would totally be interested in somebody playing me through it. Absolutely. I'm not even joking, I would be 100% interested in it. Yeah, tutorials is alright, Kathina. I don't have a problem with that. Like, you have to understand it's in 3304, and anybody who enters the game should essentially enter it with the knowledge of a person who is in 3304. That's how you would expect it to work. Oh yeah, I'm not too bad at it. So if you want me to show you how to do it, I can show you it. So just wait till I jump to the next one, Chris. If there's another. I hope there's another, because otherwise it's going to look pretty bloody stupid. I've got 5 jumps, so I'm hoping there's one more. So I'll show you exactly how I do it, because funnily enough, I learnt it myself. I watched one instructional video, but he did it in a very different way. I copied it, and then I've kind of, every time I've kind of changed it a little bit, and now I seem to have it a bit more down. The couple of nights ago I was struggling. I'll probably struggle now that I'm going to show it. And now that I'm gonna not drop in a neutron star. Hang on a second. Let's see if there's a neutron star on the trip. Probably gonna wind me up here and tell me to bugger off. Gmap, okay.
Fuel scooping complete.
Oh no, we've got one jump and then we'll do one. We're actually going to do two, so I'm going to be able to show you how to do this twice. As long as my modules, are my modules alright? So, the most important thing, Chris, in my humble opinion, is get that sucker scanned, because you've got 80 grand. You get 80,000 credits for scanning it, so get it scanned. Exactly, I think, well, that's a good thing, Kathina, because I think you've just hit the nail on the head there. A lot of people, I'd forgotten about the original games, to be honest, when I came back to this, so it's a huge learning curve. Huge learning curve. Okay, Chris, so what you want to do, you drop in, get it scanned, get your 80,000 credits or whatever. And then this is how I do it. On the right panel in your functions, you want to have your orbit lines on. They should always be on unless you're taking photographs, because in my opinion, in the future, they're going to help you fly something. Then you want to go up to the first blue nodule just underneath, so with your acceleration. You'll notice that at some point, although it didn't show there, the orbit line will come up. It should show you an orbit line. And then you stay above that so that obviously you don't crash into the neutron star. And then this is where the really true thing comes in. You point the front of your ship to the exit point of the neutron star, so if there's, you can see as it's swirling out, you can see there's kind of a circle in the distance. Put it to the bottom of where that final circle is, and then just gently accelerate towards it. Now, I can do it on 2, but you can do it as 1. As soon as the swirls, you think they're going to capture your ship. So as I'm going in now, I'm going to knock it up 2. As I'm going in now, I'm edging towards that circle. And as I think that I'm going to get captured probably 3 or 4 seconds from now, I think. Probably not even teaching this right this time. So the next swirl is going to get me, okay? So I pull back on the throttle. It's got me, it's pulling me in. Okay, and as soon as I hear, it's not going to let me, it's not going to show it properly because I've been doing it not thinking. As soon as it shows, I pull back on my throttle. As soon as it says supercharge, I accelerate and I don't touch anything because the ship's pointing to the exit. So it's going to throw me out the exit. Now that one took a bit longer because I'm thinking it through too much and I'm not doing it at my own pace, but once you get the hang of doing that, which I'll try in the next one without doing it so much as a DIY, you'll see how quickly I can actually get in and out of it. But it's all based on repetition and having the feel for it, really. Yeah, like Kathina says, muscle memory. Like you just feel like, oh, it's gonna grab the ship here, or you think it's not gonna grab the ship here, and that's when you kind of know when it's gonna get you and when it's not, and it does become muscle memory. And the thing is, I put off learning how to scoop them for so long because I was so worried about being pulled into the core and destroying my ship. And funny enough, I actually destroyed my Diamondback, which I'd never destroyed before, by nonchalantly going into one and not understanding where I was. So stupid, but it taught me a lesson which I'll never do again. So I'll do it again here because we're dropping into another one. So drop in, scan it. You can see on the right I've got a jump of like 200, well you can't see it now, but it's 273 light years to the next one. And I'm hoping the orbit line comes up on this one because it... Okay, so we accelerate. The orbit line's not coming up and I have no idea why it isn't. I'm sorry, I don't know why the orbit line isn't coming up, so I go towards the center, then when I see the orbit line I stay above it, I turn to that, where that's pretty much where that circle's ending there. Accelerate towards it. I'm still going too slow, even for it's going to capture me now, maybe the next swing. So I pull back on the throttle, wait for supercharge. I don't touch anything now, I just keep the throttle going. It throws me out. Actually, as soon as it throws you out, like there, you can oh, actually, I didn't even accelerate there. Sorry about that. As soon as it throws you out, you can press the... Oops. Right, don't listen to me. I'm talking absolute bollocks. As soon as it throws you out, and that's because I didn't change my destination. That's what it was. As soon as it throws you out, as long as you selected next destination, you can carry on. There's no overheating, is what I was trying to get at. Now I just look like a complete and utter fucking dickhead. They don't. It's really strange, David. They should, and they do. But sometimes you have to capture the right speed, and I will never understand what it is. They do appear on them, because I've been going so slow before that they appear, and then I've been going so fast that they appear as well. So I don't know where the in-between is, but like I say, Kathina said it's muscle memory, and you get a feel for it. I know where the exclusion zone is. Like I feel, okay, I'm too close now. It takes a while to get used to, but you get used to it. Right, yo, are we in system then? I think we might be in system. Let's hope. 2 jumps, got 2 more jumps. And we got 35 astronomical objects, so... Is this a K-star? This is like a super K-star. Wow. Oh, that's interesting, David. So different people kind of have different little bits of how they do it. Why is... Hang on, why is nothing showing here? No idea why it's not showing it. I'm stuck under a star at the moment. Right, so we are... Oh no, we might be in system actually. That might just be me. Sun UAE. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna see where we are. This sun has got me by the tongue, and I'm not getting away from it at the moment. I can get up to 376 light years, I believe, more. You do need a fuel scoop. Well done, Doc, because the other day I couldn't understand why I couldn't supercharge, and it worked out that I didn't have my fuel scoop engaged. So you do need a fuel scoop to supercharge. Okay, so apparently the reason we dropped in the system is because of that super just come back to it a little bit. Yes, it depends on the actual star, but yeah. So this is, I haven't got oh crap, wrong one. M or S? S. Okay, so this is a massive M-class star, and that's why I stopped here. That's why I came into the system, because well, it's actually MS class star. M stars are normally not as big. Right, so we can undo that now. 363. Yeah. Okay, so is it called Xanadu or Zuane? I'm saying things these days, Zuane. So delete that one. Now look, people, we are so far away from the bubble. We're pretty far away, but myself and Brian have decided that we're just gonna kind of keep going until we visit stuff that we're happy with, and then we're gonna kind of plot our way back. We genuinely, I don't have an end date to this thing. I decided to do this after the Gnosis incident, and I just said, you know what? I said to Brian in Discord, like, I'm kind of done with how things are in the bubble. It just doesn't feel fair or right to me how it works out, and I just want to go and just do my own thing. And he was like, at first I don't think he was interested, but then when I explained to him that I'm gonna travel from spot to spot and try and, you know, even if it means yeah, I'm thinking of it, Katina. That's the crazy part, because what, 8 days here? You know, oh, that's nice to know, Mo, because, you know, I do try to cater for people who are, the name Ineffectual Gamer is not it's not a joke. The reason I call myself that is because I'm pretty crap at gaming. I love games. I'm brilliant. I love it. I never got bored, but half a bottle down, folks. But I'm not the best gamer. And so I always look at it from kind of, if you think about the books, you know, computing for dummies and stuff like that, that's how I always see my stream being, and that's what I want my stream to be. As daft as that sounds, that's how I see it. Oh, I don't want to lose that sweet, sweet data. Why do I want to lose my data? Why are you putting those thoughts in my head, Kathina? No, I'll be alright. I didn't, actually. I've always worried about losing my data. Even the day I lost my data through that problem with the SRV, I didn't really sweat it. I was just like, you know what? Don't care. I think we're gonna go to Beagle Point. I can't see why we wouldn't go to Beagle Point. I can semi-understand why Brian wouldn't go to Beagle Point, and I wouldn't blame him if he didn't want to go to Beagle Point, but it's not something that I've even really thought about. I've thought about going to Beagle Point, coming back through Colonia, and then doing the Icarus route across the top of the galaxy, coming back down into the bubble from above. That's kind of where I see this adventure going. And if it takes a month, takes 2 months, that's what it takes. But I just want to do something in the stream that's not, you know, it's not, I want to show people that, okay, if you don't want to do, if you're scared of doing exploration, come watch my stream. Because if I can go out and explore the galaxy, you can go out and explore the galaxy. When I get back to the bubble, I think Kathina will be clapping hands, because I think I'm ready for a bit of combat. I've always put it off, but I think that it's the new part that I want to just get under my belt. Probably going to buy a new ship and have a new attitude towards it, but I think it's part of the game that I'm ready for now. That, oh god, this is a horrible system. You're quite right, Mo, you're quite right. I'm looking over my shoulder because I think it's hilarious. My housemate's fallen asleep watching The Purge with earphones on. And I think at some point there's going to be a jump scare. And, might redecorate the front room. Never know. As much as I would love you caressing my broken hull, shall we put it that way, with bandages and whatnot, a man's got to survive on his own sometimes. I'm still looking for Julie to tell me how to skin a marmot. But let's see, we got 3. Oh, got a double wall. Oh, a double, a twin, unsanctioned. Is that how you would put it? Unsanctioned water well? No, untagged. I know it's untagged. Okay, there you go. There it is. So you saw the thingamajiggle orbit line there, so we're gonna wait till we get grabbed. Next one, turn the thrusters down to 0, wait till it gets supercharged, turn the thrusters up to full, let it kick you out, because it always kicks you out, and now I'm free to move on. But the game's, I don't know whether it'll keep the extra jump, because I'm only going to scan these places, but hopefully it'll keep it long enough. Oh yeah, if you want PvP as well, go to Hutton Orbital. I mean, it's a long fly out there, but once you get there, it's non-stop PvP. As far as I'm aware, they do let you land. The people who are out there doing nefarious things, they do generally let you land, so it saves your game. But oh, Kun is a nice destination this time of year. That's what I heard. Jesus Christ, is it 354? I thought it was 254. No wonder I'm cream crackered and pished. We might have to play... Yeah, we're gonna have to play dodge with this planet. Come on, scan you bugger. Right, okay. That's the first water world. And if we get a second one, if they're terraformable, that's amazing. They're probably not. Oh, they are. Christ on a stick. Wow. Not to mention the free anaconda, yep. Free anaconda. Two terraformable binary water worlds, people. 1,800 light seconds from a neutron star. Gotta love that. Right. Oh, and I've still got my frame shift drive charge. Gotta love this game some days. 3 for the price of 1. Oh, shut up. Exactly. Like ribbons in the sky. Before you leave the stream today, people, please do drop a like. That's what it's there for. And if you haven't subscribed before, feel free to subscribe now. Other thing is, look through my show notes in the description below. There's so much information there. The music I'm playing, that's in there, available for download. Lots and lots of things in there. Tons of information, you wouldn't believe it. I never edit it, so I just add to it. So in all seriousness, you can find a ton of information in there that's helpful, that I might have forgot I actually posted in. What have I got in there? Yeah, if you want to leave a tip in the tip jar, that's there. If you want to become a Patreon, that's there. If you want to learn more about Lave Radio, based in the Lave system, that's there as well. Join the Discord, so we have our Discord link in there. That's always good. Tons of information in Discord. There's also links to my Streamlabs and Twitch. Music from Miguel Johnson and Chris Zabriskie. And then if you want to purchase a game, the game, or others with a discount, there is a link to SED keys and stuff like that in there. Nearly ran out of breath with that one. Let's pull it back just a tad. Oh, what's that one? That looks strange. So high metal content. I've just not seen one ringed like with that surface skin. Ton of ringed planets here. Are these undiscovered? This is interesting because they're undiscovered. But they're not undiscovered. So 900,000 light seconds. It's probably going to be trash, this system.
Frameshift drive charging.
I hope you get it working, Mo. It's a shame that it didn't. It's truly a shame that it didn't, because I remember you saying it was spinning around, and each setup you can't truly say what causes one thing or another, can you? Wow, this is like this crazy sun system. We're everywhere. 4 jumps, people. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere for 4 jumps. I've no idea where we're going. But where are we going? Destination 6757. I have no idea where we're going, people. Did you drop out of the Discord, Kathina? That's shocking. No, look, you explained why you disappeared. It's not of consequence, don't worry. Just know that you're wanted here. With your dirty, dodgy ship builds. Actually, seriously, people, Kathina's ship builds in Discord, go have a look at them. Pretty much everything you want is in there, and some of them are engineered, and if you haven't get into engineering, get into engineering, because then those ship builds will take your game to a different level. I know people say, well, it's not for me. Just do it, get it done. We'll help you. Ask people in Discord. If you don't know how to do something, or you don't want to do something, or you think it's going to be difficult, ask people to help you. I mean, yeah, I've been through it as well. There's times that I'm playing this game and I'm just like, that's why I decided to do this trip, because I just thought, you know, let's just get out of the bubble and be in the black, but let's just embrace the black and not think about returning. So the idea is, if I don't think about the return, I don't have to think about the black. Whereas before, it's always been, get to Sajay, get to Sajay, get to Sajay. You get to Sajay, you look at it, and then you're like, back to the bubble, back to the bubble, back to the bubble. And I'm like, no, you know what, that's not the right way to look at this, not the right way to approach this. I've got to forsake both ideas for the purpose of just moving forward. And then, you know, we've been a week now doing this, and you know, unfortunately some systems haven't paid off because FDev have changed them or done something. Some systems have turned out alright, they look good, and I've been pleased with what we've seen. But it's so, you know, the game, I've said it on a whole, is that the game really grinds people. It's hard for some people. And I totally understand it, because I grinded the Division to hell, and I love the Division, still love it. I mean, for God's sake, I dragged Elliot's guy around New York showing him places from the Division which I don't think he was interested in. I might stream a bit of the Division tomorrow. I'm guessing I'm going to be hungover. Could have a bit of curry before I go to bed, actually, try and soak up the booze. Anybody's seen Withnell live, they'll know what that. Soak up the booze. Well, let's see what quarter 4 brings us. I'll definitely stream the beta, so if people don't want to download it and don't want to go into it, don't worry, I'll download it and give it a try out, see what it's like. Well, you know, Until it drops, we don't know. Seriously, the new guy who's taken over that department, maybe he has a great vision. Maybe he knows exactly what he wants. Oh, it's done that again. I don't know why it does that. It tells me 5414. Okay. Oh crap! I'm gonna say it takes me a while to do this because I'm trying to do it on the fly. Am I still in the grasp of the sun now? Okay, so we're in my Rye SLY. My Rye SLY. Okay. Then we're in RY-S. RY-S. God, I'm sorry people, you have to hear me repeating this, but otherwise I won't bloody remember a thing about it. E3 5414. 5414 E3. Oh, there we go. Ah, okay. I think the name is telling me what it is. After you see it. This system houses 6 T-Tauri stars, each with its own ring, providing a series of stunning view sets against many bright stars in the central part of the galactic core. One of the smaller planets also has an interesting ring system, with its angle of inclination almost exactly perpendicular to its orbit, so that the rings are face on to the central star. Okay, can we see that in the system map? One of the planets it said, didn't it? No, it doesn't show it. Which fucking planet? Come on. One of the smaller planets. One of the smaller planets with a ring, so it has to be with a ring as well. So my guess is number 2. So we're gonna go have a look at number 2. Yeah, the beta can be pretty, you know. It can be a bit of a dud at times, a damp squib, if ever you, bit of a damp squid. Now let's pull this back, see where we are. Unfortunately, people, I haven't got a lot of information on which planet it is. I'm going totally on fumes here. I'm just gonna target this planet and hope that we can get a good landing. I'd love to see the rings. They are actually quite nice. They're not as thin as some of the others that we've seen. With some really good rings on this trip. Regularly. Well, you don't have to do it, Kathina. Bob's really Bob hasn't said goodnight, but Bob's whether he's in stream or not, Bob's pretty much down with the Guardians. You know, he's down with the homies. He knows what's going on. Yeah, it's because it's one of the smaller planets. You would not expect such a large ring. I'm expecting people to say that's what she said in the chat. But we'll see how it goes. We'll settle down here. I love getting the SRV out, so I don't mind getting the SRV out to have a bit of look of a little bit of a look around. Try and bring our. Oh shit! Did he, Joe? Thanks very much for seeing it. I didn't see it. Bob knows me though. He knows what I'm like. He won't take it personally, I hope. But yeah, Kathina, seriously, Bob will take you through all that crap. It takes him an hour to take out the Sentry with his ship, but he'll get the job done. He did when I did it. It's a good video because I survived by the skin of my teeth. But it was actually a good stream. There's a bit of huff and blow about which place I should be going to and whatnot, but Bob did a good job, and I literally, I think I remember just boosting over the side of a cliff and thinking I'd rather die doing it this way than the Guardian Sentinels getting me. So, oh no, that's all done now. Yeah, I've got that set. Oh, it was a good stream. I enjoyed it. I thought, you know, but you know what Bob's like? Bob apologizes for everything when he's actually doing something decent. He's like, I'm sorry, because he couldn't find something. But I just said, like, yeah, I understand why Bob does that. I do it all the time. Here in Spain, saying sorry isn't really that necessary in conversation. So people just think I'm a complete mental patient when I'm saying sorry and thank you all the time. I know I'm coming in a bit slow, people, here, but you'll just have to deal with it because I'm not. This is my set down point, so I'm not interested. Funnily enough, close up the planet doesn't look that small. I'm going to be honest. Dropping in from orbital cruise, this planet does not look small, but it is the smallest in the system. It's in the genes, I know. Ah, the Thargoids are alright. Letter 13, you don't need to worry. The Thargoids are good people. They're alright. I met them one Sunday afternoon. We had Sunday lunch. They're good people. Right, landing gears down. What, with 2 kilometers? It is, it's a tangerine planet. Sundog. They're creepy. Oh Christ, what's the G on this place? The G is really heavy, and I've only just realised, and I think I'm gonna have to boost out. Boost out, come on, don't do it. That was a really big hit because you look at my G, 3.8. That took off a bit of hull, but it's not the end of the world. It's a chunk, but it's a mistake that I won't make again when I come down on planet. Listen, people can learn from my mistake. If you're gonna go into the black, whenever you decide to land on a planet, be it oh crap, oi, hang on a minute, this is not good, because it should be landing now. Oh, because my shields aren't up. What am I doing here? So, if you're gonna land on a planet, please be aware that of G. I really didn't take notice of the G and stupidly went flying down, and I wasn't. And I honestly actually don't know if I'm going to be able to touch down, because it's just not registering. Right, okay. Let's. I need to take this seriously because 72% hull for me is pretty. It's not good. I can't actually even jet away here. Okay, now I've got a bit away. We're on 70. We're still on 72. That was the. Okay. I get what you mean. Thank you. There we go. Right, let's see. Is it hull damage or some of it is module damage? It's all hull damage. Okay. I'll have to talk to Brian about that. We're gonna have to have some checklists before we land on planet surfaces in the future. So didn't it? Guiding frame shifts offline. Planetary vehicle hangars online. Another happy landing. I just heard the way my ship hit the ground there. Because, do you know, it's... Every planet I've landed on has been low gravity, so I just didn't even think about taking notice. But, you know, if you were truly landing on another planet, you would take notice of that crap, so it's my own personal problem. I love the fact that you stick to the ground. That is a good thing. You can absolutely hammer it here without the chance of taking off, so... Oi. And the rocks fall straight off into the ground, so that's always a good one. We've got vanadium. 241, which actually isn't that bad for vanadium. Nickel 287, we're not too far off. Probably used it to fill a couple of bits and bobs. Nickel, we're not full on. Okay, we'll go with nickel. I think that's probably it. Yes. Okay, so no problem, Mo. It's always a pleasure. You know, it's a pleasure. So Sunday night will be the next night that I stream, so be sure to drop by. I say Sunday night my time, probably early evening your time, but just think of the time that you join me tonight, and it's probably going to be around that time. Oh crap, I'm rolling forward here. Phosphorus and iron. In all honesty, I don't know. Phosphorus, iron, I'm full. Phosphorus, we can actually do with a bit of phosphorus. That's not the end of the world. Iron we're full on, so we shall target the next one. Zinc? Oh, we actually need zinc. Alright, Joe, at least we didn't miss the coffee tonight, you know. Oh, but take care. I'm gonna do a few minutes more myself. We'll see how it goes on. I love it. I love being stuck to the... Look at this, you can go over massive ridges and you just stick to the floor. This is an SRV dream, this. Still at 100% chassis. I love it. Love it. Right, here we go. And I get to blast stones and they just open up. You've got loads of space for nickel as well. Whoopsie daisy. Look, even when you go sideways, it's good. I love this. This is high G planets of the future. Seriously, they are. Oh, actually, no. You got to be careful. That knocked a lot off my chassis. So you can go fast, but you can't speed. It is actually. It works, doesn't it, Kathina? Well, I feel so dizzy doing this. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah, I just seriously passed a rock. I don't know. Oh, wow. Got that one open early. That's strange for this game. I didn't expect it to recognise. Unless have done a circle. I know. That's what Kathina always says. Hey, I'll welcome the opportunity to play in VR if somebody wants to give me a Rift. But I totally understand where you're getting at. Oh, come on, that took off like 13%. Tungsten. Always do a bit of tungsten. Mercury, can always do a mercury. Nickel, not so much, but it'll take it because I need it. Mercury. Always need a bit of mercury. Iron. Tungsten. Right, a bit of tungsten. Vanadium. Oh, we've got a good rock here. Just a nice one. Iron. Mercury. More mercury, so I'll take that. Iron. Iron, is it only iron? Sometimes, for example, antimony. I mean, antimony is a good material to have. Hence why I've only got 18 of it. So you've got to always do a last second check for some of those extra bits. But, you know, generally... Oh, this is another good one. Whoa. Tungsten. Tungsten. Mercury. Now a lot of this is jumponium material, and I'll be honest with you, I've not used jumponium. It is for kind of outer edges of the galaxy, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't collect it, because zinc. Okay, so it doesn't mean you shouldn't collect it, because it could be important when you need to make that really big jump. So, oh really? Yeah, it feels a bit weird doing it that way, Kathina. But I understand because that's what I used to do. I used to sit there and go select, select, select. Especially on a high G world, you have every point. You're right, Jess. Thank you very much. And a beer in the shower. Extra points. Okay. So, but however, unfortunately, children, I am going to have to bring the stream to an end. You know, I love you all, but every man's got his limits, and I'm 5. It is a thing, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm saying I like somebody who drinks beer in the shower. I like drinking beer in the shower, especially in the summer, just downing them. I'm like 5.5 hours into the stream and we've gone further than the usual stream, so I want to thank everybody for joining in. It's so much fun. You're the people, I don't think you understand, this isn't just a tacky YouTube thing. You're the people that make the stream last for 5 hours, to make 5 hours seem like 5 minutes. You really are. So no, hopefully I won't. You never know, but hopefully I won't do. You're the people that make the stream feel like 5 minutes rather than 5 hours, so never forget that, people, because it's really important. I stream so people can enjoy the game, so it's really important that you do, and the faster you make it go for me, the better. Okay, so I'll call it night and I will say #97.